I am and was a very respectable person. However, since the young and shown my total satisfaction that she indeed is intuitive. There's a story the gypsies know is true. That when your love with golden earrings, we belong to you. And oh, the story that's known to very few. But if you ever golden earrings, love comes to you. The burning fire that will glow, let it go. But any fire which will glow inside your soul. Make love your guiding light. And when the smell of volunteering virtue changes, I get amazed at the clear, insightful, and direct information I received from David 61. She was spot on with so many complicated issues that I have been struggling with, and has shown a light of the answers and solutions to several dilemmas currently confronting me. This has helped me move forward with assurance. I highly recommend the session with Sister Yvonne. She's truly gifted, compassionate, and sees deeply into one's inner life. Thank you so much for the reading, Sister Yvonne. Good guiding light. And every pair of golden earrings that sleep spell tonight.
Start spreading the news. I need them today. I want to be a part of it. New York, New York. These vagabond shoes are longing to stray right to the very heart of it. New York, New York. I want to wake up in a city that doesn't sleep, and find the hill top of the heat. These little towns are melting away. I'm looking for a brand new song. If I can make it better, I'll make it. Everywhere it's up to you, New York, New York.
She comes through as a friend of hers. I was told that your work is the best. She has something for you, and she will do the best for you. If you're alone, over to work with that. If you have a need, what if you have a jail card, or sort of nature, or learn about the African spirits? She will provide you for many years of spiritual leader. I will send you anything. 254 72 72.
These little towns I'm gonna make a brand new start of it. In New York. I'm gonna make it everywhere. It's up to you.
When you feel lonely, depressed, and happy down on your luck, you want to change your life.
No, you're not. Ladies and gentlemen, African American and advisor Sister Duma is here to guarantee that makes a little 24 hours plus 1 day you gain peace, love, health, and prosperity. Call 718-253-7273. That number again is 718-253-7273.
Are you happy with marriage all your life? Separated from your loved ones? Have problems at work? Problems on the job? With immigration, examination brought to the court cases? Can't hold money? Or do you have extreme sickness? Call Citizen Job now. 718-253-7273. Just a phone call away. Opportunity to ask ways to Citizen Job and help solve all problems in life. Do not confuse with any other place or music you have anymore. If you can't help you, then no one can. This is what God has always explained to do.
Don't let time or distance keep you away. This God-gifted spiritually brings you solution to the mystery of the deep thought. This Zumba is located in Brooklyn, New York. Call now and turn your life around. 718-253-7273 for one free question by phone and don't get up. Share. Keep and Clean Radio.com. 93.5
Good evening, Rock City, Brooklyn. I want to say happy birthday to everybody that been listening to the EAP Radio, BrooklynStation.com, ListenAbout.com. What a lovely evening here to be with you here on WVIP 93.5 FM. And alongside, I have a new co-host going to be on with me every week now, and I'm going to introduce you to him. Hello, my co-host. How are you this evening?
Good evening. Good evening. I feel great today.
You feel great? Well, I feel wonderful too, and it's a pleasure. Let the audience know who you are and tell us a little bit about you, and so they'll know what they expect.
Okay. My name is Ishmael Caraway. By way of trade, I'm a real estate agent. I've been doing that for over 4 years now. I started in flipping, and now it's more about developing my large clientele base and making sure that I deliver that excellent customer service that they're used to. And then I came across Sister Dubong, and I just had this immediate connection to the mission that you were trying to promote, your radio station. And I just thought, I could share my experience and my unique interpretation. My degree is in psychology, so when it comes to our conversations, I feel like I could bring a new aspect to the conversations based on my background and experience.
Well, I'm more than gratified, gratitude, and every other thing. It's a pleasure to be here with us, and you're going to have fun on the Way Beyond show. And there we go, Jamaica, because what we do is explore Jamaica in the West Indian culture and down south and Black American culture and throughout Africa. So you're going to have a journey with us here on this station, and we're going to have a lot of fun. And matter of fact, we can start off with a topic. What would you like to talk about today?
So I'm very big on financial literacy. And when it comes to that, one of the most important parts of financial literacy is debt, right? Understanding debt. Most people think that debt is automatically bad, but that can be very good for you as well, depending on what your goal is, like what's your vision, long-term goal, right? So, for example, if we're just talking about regular credit card debt and it's not related to a business, that's considered bad debt because it doesn't add anything to your life, right? As a matter of fact, it takes more over time, right? So if you have good credit, for example, right, and you have a credit card, if your interest rates probably for the year would be about 13%, right? On that, you're going to pay close to another $2,000 that you're just giving away, right? And if you bump up to like, let's say you $5,000 that you owe on a credit card and you have bad credit, your interest rate is going to be 24%, right? Now, it will take you about 9 years to pay it off if you're paying the minimum payment, which most people do. And by the time you're done, you're going to be paying back $6,000. So you're going to be paying back over 100% of what you borrowed. You know what I'm saying? So that kind of debt to me is bad, right? But there are good debt. For example, if you have a business now and you're trying to develop your credit, right? And then you start buying things for business related for that business, then you could grow what's called your debt to income ratio, right? So then that will allow you to then afford more things for your business or for you, because depending on your business, you become part of your business, right? Your lifestyle becomes part of your business, and the same thing goes for your person as well, right? So if you're trying to grow your debt to income ratio, which is always good for when you apply for loans in the future, right? You want to that can be good depending on how you structure it. So you don't want to use more than roughly between 20% of that limit of that card, and you want to pay it off as soon as possible. Now, if you follow that method, debt will be your asset because it will then become almost like equity that you have to borrow from moving forward, right?
Okay, I see.
Yeah.
Wow. Folks, tonight you could call in. The station is 718-253-4239, 718-676-0820. If you would like to talk to Mr. Ismail about anything that he discusses with you tonight, feel free to call in. Again, the number is 718-253-4239, 718-676-0820. Because so many of us, we don't understand that, and it's sad, but most people are afraid to get in debt because they're thinking, how can I pay it back? And if I don't pay it back, I have everything taken away.
Yes, right? And even within that, there are certain loopholes that can be done, right? So like, let's say you defaulted on your loan, right? You've been paying your debt for a while and you defaulted, right? There's certain loopholes and tricks that most people don't even know, right? So let's say you owe a bank, for example. What these institutions sometimes do is they sometimes sell your debt, right? So if you go to a debt collector and it's not the bank that's doing it, that person, by law, you don't necessarily have to pay them back. Well, there are steps in between, right? But by law, they have to go about it a special way to collect money from you. And if they don't do that, you could actually sue them for $1,000 for error that they made in the process.
Wow, folks, we're learning something. And I think this is very educational. So make sure you take notes out there. And I want to say a shout out to so many of you out there listening to us this evening. And I know a lot of you's in debt. So if you was going to borrow, where is the best place to go get a loan to borrow? Where, to a bank or not to a shop too?
So the average person won't be able to do this, but the best place to borrow money from is if you own real estate through a HELOC loan, right? Because your home technically acts as that loan that you're taking on your home technically acts as a bank. And basically the equity.
Yes, and what you call that again? A HELOC?
HELOC loan.
Oh.
And the interest rates that you pay on that loan are always less than what you get from a bank. Always less.
Wow.
And much less too.
Ooh, I learned something myself, folks. So if you got real estate out there, it's best to get a loan called a HELOC loan. And you would tell the bank you want that, or you would tell the bank you want a HELOC loan. Because if you don't tell them, they're going to suggest their loan too.
Exactly. And the HELOC loan stands for Home Equity Line of Credit. So you're basically taking a line of credit against the equity that you already have in your home.
Interesting. Well, folks, I'm going to take you back to some music. And don't forget, I'm Sister DeBong, the spiritual reading advisor. If you need me for anything that's going on in your life, spiritual, any conditions you're having in your life, any upsetment, if you just lost your loved one, you wanted to return back to you, or you just going through difficulties with maybe you're having problems with your landlord, give me a call. That's 718-253-7273. We got on the 1 and 2. We have our number one DJ. And DJ, how are you this evening?
Hello.
You're good. Tell the folks who you are. Everybody want to know who you are. They know you good.
DJ Tony Bass.
Tony Dancer, the 1 and 2. And shout out there to the manager, Holly, out there. Big up to you, Holly. Well, and this is how they do going to the station. You're hanging down here.
Okay. So basically you give like sound bites and plug it into that way. Okay. I took a pop with Holly earlier. Did you not see the email? With the NDA.
Yeah, I see. But what happened was, I don't know, comes out and she wants to just come here.
It's 9:30. The guy's on hold.
Okay, what is that?
Bigger than the Teddy B.
Okay, ladies and gentlemen, we have a guest this afternoon here on WVIP 93.5 FM, King and Queen Radio, and BrooklynStation.com. And I want to welcome, good evening. Hello, guest, good evening.
Hello, how are you tonight?
Well, it's a pleasure having you here this evening. How are you?
I'm fantastic. I'm excited. I have an album coming out tomorrow, and everything's good.
Wow, you have an album coming out. But tell us a little bit about yourself. Tell the folks first who you are.
I'm Kathy Brunetti, and I'm from Pittsburgh, PA, and my album's called The Queen of Pittsburgh. And I have a single out right now, Evil Woman, and I I have a video, and I'll have another video coming out in a few weeks to the first track on the album, which is called Eat, Sleep, Repeat. It's about living in the city. You know what that's like.
Oh, I know what it's like. And I was reading, you're a very interested artist and a human being as well, because I was reading about you and you're very family orientated. I see how you want to live for your grandchildren and you wanted to make a mark, and I thought that was so beautiful reading. So I see your family work with you also in the band.
Yes, my husband's my lead guitar player. I'm a drummer.
I heard that. Go ahead, honey.
Well, I'm a drummer, and I sing and I write, and also, I got to fulfill a few dreams with this album. First off, our youngest boy, we have two boys, and the youngest one's a musician, and so on the title track, Queen of Pittsburgh, there's a wonderful father and son guitar solo section, and it's really nice. And every time I hear it, I'm just busting with joy because it's so much fun hearing my husband and my son play like that. And then
go ahead, honey.
I come from a big family. I'm the oldest of 10 kids, and so I also have a couple of my sisters singing background vocals on a few of the songs. So yeah, a lot of family on it, and everybody on this album is like family to me. So my producers, Dean Sargent and Mike Hennigan, they're New York City boys. They're from Long Island.
Oh, okay.
And my husband and I lived in Manhattan, and we lived in the Bronx,
Well,
and,
you didn't come to be the queen of the Brooklyn. I'm queen of Brooklyn.
you're the queen of Brooklyn.
Well, the queen of Brooklyn. Well, anyway, I know it must be fun playing them drums, but the neighbors must say, here she go again. She making that noise, but them drums can get you though. And it must be lovely. I mean, you can play with disco music and all kind of music. Did you learn that yet?
Oh, yeah, I mean, I can play, I'm a school drummer. I was a music major for a couple of years. So, and I love the drums. So I still study, you know what I'm saying? I mean,
So
I
what?
still work at it, and I practice, and I just love drumming,
So at what age did you start?
I started playing drums, see, they wouldn't let me play drums at first, when I asked for it, when I was around 11, because they said it was a boy's instrument. So
Yeah.
my first instrument was actually guitar, which serves me well because that's how I write my music today. But I went ahead and got a job when I was 14. I think you had to be 14 to actually work back in those days. And so I got a job and I took my money and went to the mall and signed myself up for drum lessons. And nobody could believe that I did that. And, I guess I was around 13 maybe when I started playing the drums actually, but I was obsessed with it. So I played hard, I played long, and I studied it and took lots of lessons and had great teachers, and ended up going to college and actually had a scholarship for snare drumming. And then I dropped out of college after 2 years and went on the road with a rock and roll band.
Wow, that's fantastic.
Yeah, and that's back in the 70s,
Yeah, and those days was a lot of fun. Bands was in. I remember we was in Staten Island, and I used to be with bands. I love bands, especially in the city where they have a lot now in the Brooklyn over in Williamsburg where you can go and play. Do you ever play here in the city?
Oh yeah, I play all over the city, and all the big rock clubs, all that stuff. CBGBs,
I know CBGBs. I remember the night it closed down. I still got the jacket. Yeah, that was a fantastic place. But
I played there a lot. People don't remember, right? This is before even cable TV, really. New York City was the only place that had cable TV.
That's
right. It was before disco, so every bar had a band, right?
That
every
is
hotel
true.
had a band, every
That
bar
is
had a
true.
band,
That sure
and that was
did.
our entertainment back then.
Rock and roll. I know it too well. Those was the good days to do the swing and all the rest. Okay, well, you know something? What I want to do is play your music. Can you hold on? I want the DJ to see if you got the music. You got the music, DJ? Okay, the DJ gonna play the music. Don't go nowhere because I want to talk to you after.
Sure.
Okay.
To rule the world, I'm just a simple girl, Pittsburgh girl. I've been here most my life. I found a good man, he made me his wife, and I'll never give up, and I'll never give in. Till they shovel dirt on my face, I go away. One way or the other, no in between. I won't stop kicking ass till they make me queen of Pittsburgh. I love my city, and I've seen it change seen sip from a blast furnace. Yeah, acid rain, steel mills and deal. Hard times here, my friend, where everyone leaves and comes back home again. And we'll never give up, and we'll never go in. Gonna reinvent if technology has been. Move downtown, the best place to live I've seen. And now my life will be complete until they make me queen.
Wow. We got to tease them. Can't give them all. And that part there, the last part that we just playing there, that is beautiful. I remember that. Sound almost like Led Zeppelin them.
Oh, well, thank you.
You know
Yeah,
that.
that was my,
Yeah.
that was my husband. That was my husband there on guitar, and then after him comes our son takes it out, you know, and I mean, woo!
Well, that was really great. And you know, I remember that part was playing. In Tennessee, gonna love you. Down Tennessee, Memphis, all that area down there, they hear that. It's very strong and it's vibrant. It's unique for this time. You usually don't hear music like that anymore.
That's true.
It's
That's
very
true.
unique. I heard that way back. The style you got is fantastic because you're bringing back an era that is very good. I love it. And where are you going to be performing at?
Well, we're you know, with this COVID thing, we didn't know what was going to happen, you know, and things are just now starting to open up again. So we're not going to be performing live for a while. I'm making a few more videos. I'm in the middle of producing a few more videos, and then we're probably going to start our gigging schedule. I imagine next year, you know. My band's located all over the place. They're not all here in Pittsburgh. My husband's my lead guitar player. He's here in Pittsburgh, of course, with me. But my keyboard player's in Queens.
Well, next time you come here to Kings and Queens, and you do it here with the Queen here in Brooklyn, bring your set over here, and we'll do some performance and stuff here live.
Oh, that would be awesome.
Yeah, we brought bands in here before. I love doing that. So let me know when you want to come in. And so how can the people get in touch with you and get this beautiful music coming out tomorrow, Evil Woman?
Yes, it's a Queen of Pittsburgh album.
Queen of Pittsburgh, I know that.
Evil Woman's the single that's out now. But it's the Queen of Pittsburgh album. And you can find my music on all the streaming platforms, on Amazon, iTunes, all that stuff. But if you need to link up with me, the best place is my website, and that's at www.teddybrunetti.com, and that's TEDIBRUNETTI.com, and there's links there to everything, and you can get a CD on the album there too. That's where you get the CDs. It's on my website. And actually, I have a brand new website launching tomorrow.
Wow.
Yeah, we're gonna everything's.
So you moving?
Tomorrow.
You moving good. I want you to give it to them one more time, sweetheart. They deserve to know where you're at. So say that, Teddy. Read it out to them again, so the audience get it.
Yes, thank you. It's at TeddyBrunetti.com. TEDIBRUNETTI.com. And you can find me on Facebook and Instagram and all the social media places. And feel free to comment and message me or whatever. I love keeping up with all my social media friends. So get in contact with me. I'd love to get to know you.
Well, thank you so much for coming on King and Queen Radio, BrooklynStation.com, SisterTheBomb.com, WVIP. And it was a pleasure and hope that to have you back here again.
Thank you very much. And it was my pleasure. And I thank you for the opportunity. And God bless you, and you have a good night now.
You too, and thank you, and keep up that good music. I can hear it in my soul right now. I'm ready to dance. I'm ready to leave here and go dance.
Just do it. That's great.
All right, take care, honey. Bye.
Okay, you too. Bye-bye.
You're listening to WVIP 93.5 FM, King and Queen Radio, BrooklynStation.com, SisterTheBomb.com, and I have my co-host besides me, Ismael. Ismael, how do you like that music?
You know what? As you said, it's unique. It really brings me back to that time. I
Yes,
could just listen to the track by itself. And
yes.
it just takes my mind
Take
way
your
back.
mind away.
Yeah.
You know, you can sit there a couple ways. You may not drink beer,
Mhm.
but in them days when I was a drinker, I could put me some Budweiser on there. Budweiser made a commercial for you. And put me some beer there. Now they got Corona.
Yeah.
Sit there, just sip and just listen to good music.
Just let it take the worries away, and you just like relax and have a good time.
And her voice is very good.
Yes.
And I just love how that guitar, I didn't want to go to it all because then I forget the show because it got me like really going there. So, but rock music is good music. That's why King and Queen is multicultural.
Yes.
We have all kind of guests, all kind of music, and we don't discriminate.
One of the things I did like about that track in particular was it paid homage to the past while still making it current. Like she changed the style to fit her,
Yes,
and it sounds very different while still bringing back those old, like you said, Led Zeppelin vibes.
yeah, Led Zeppelin vibes. I got right into it right there. Dun, 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 dun. Brought me back to the old days, folks. When, like she said, long years ago, and I know you out because my audience is older, they didn't have, before disco, that's all you heard was rock and roll and humming from the mouth, do, 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 girl, do, do. And it was a big thing, and that's going to come back. History repeat itself.
Yes, it does.
One, it hasn't come for a long time, but you get some young boys sitting around one day and say, that sounds different, let's try it.
Some rap songs even have that rock vibe to it now. So, you know, like you said, it's going to come back around again.
And believe it or not, rock did belong to black people first.
Yes, that is very true.
And a lot of people don't know that. A lot of the rock and roll singers was black, but in those days, they couldn't show their face.
Yes.
So a lot of times you thought it was white singers because there was on radio and you thought all the time it was white singers. Later on in the days, I said, huh, that was black.
They just, one thing I really say is marketing is everything.
Yes,
So, in my opinion, the white artists knew how to market themselves better,
Yes.
so they became famous.
and that's what we're going to do now. That's why I got my co-hosts to help you learn how to market your business and how to improve. This show is going to really uplift you and give you more education. That's why I was looking for a co-host can keep up with me. And he young and he can keep up with me. And that's what I love about him. All right, DJ, hit us with some good music.
Hi, this is Teddy Brunetti, the Queen of Pittsburgh, and you're listening to King and Queen Radio, WVIP 93.5 FM, Brooklyn.
She's longing to go so much in my life, baby. In the dark, there's a talk was my mind. See, I've never met in the morning. The way I feel about her. In my heart, even more beautiful than oh,
And then, once you know that you're listening, they talk a lot, and then you go fight it to the record company.
Here's another testimony from Beth in New York.
Very popular.
I have had literally hundreds, maybe
Very
more,
popular,
of
very
readings
popular.
over the
Everybody's
past
texting me.
35 years from working with the best readers from all over the world. There are about 25 of them. And I consider Sister Yvonne to be one of the best ever prepared for me. Just astounding. If you have not had a reading with her, give yourself that gift. She tells it like it is, with a humor and so many happy vibes. You can almost, you just can't really wait to get into the future that she preps you for. The information Sister Dubong imparted about an intensely personal family matter was something I didn't set out to learn, but it was the most important thing I needed to know that day. That's what distinguishes Sister Dubong from quote unquote just any reader. She owns her abilities, lets that insight flow through, and delivers it with warmth and lightness.
All right, I want to say a good evening out there to all the folks listening out there. And fella Rodriguez, big up to you. I love you, and tell your son I love him. I can't wait till you get back on them skateboards. I love you, fella, and God bless you. I know you got some beautiful pictures and you're doing good artwork, and I keep up with you, girl. Big up to you out there. Shout out there to Sadi. Sadi, big up to you. Long time no hear. Good things gonna come. Okay, and everybody out there listening out there, I want to say a good evening on Facebook or wherever you're at listening to us now. And our station at the King and Queen Radio Africa. Big up to you, Daniel, out there. Keep things running good out there in Nigeria. Big up out there in Lagos and the West Indies Islands. Big up to everyone right now listening to us. Out in California, so many people out there in Cali listening to us tonight. So shout out there in Cali. Also, we got Floridians out there listening to you. My cousin just arrived out there in Texas. Big up to you out there. Don't work too hard out there in Texas. In Tennessee, shout out to my cousin out there. Big up to you out there as well. So many people listening, and shout out and blessings going to you all. You got any people you would like to give a shout out there this afternoon? There?
Yes, shout out to my sister in Jersey she just had my baby niece, so
Oh, shout out to
she
her.
needs all the positive vibes she can get right
Oh,
now.
yes, she just had the baby.
Yes.
Congratulations. I know she's so happy.
Yes.
Wow, a niece. Wow. Big up to you. Big up to you, girl, and God bless you. Okay, so out there, we're going to take you back to some more music, and I'll be coming back, and I'll be picking up on a little energy and tell you what's going on.
I like jazz.
At 17, we fell in love. High school sweethearts. Love was so brand new. We took the vows of man and wife forever for life. I remember how we made our way. A little
Station.com.
Can't imagine that this love is real. Feel like the rain, girl, when you lose.
Oh, that was too
hot, lady. King and Queen Radio. King and Queen Radio. King and Queen Radio. So long as
Oh, okay. Because I know that you're a nice person, right? But then Broken Six was well done.
to stop and changing
Oh, sure, yeah, okay.
Okay, Leos, it is time for you to get it together because you're going to find yourself really having a good time, going out, enjoying yourself, and you're gonna have a visitor coming to visit you. So you're gonna somebody that you may not want to see may be showing up at your door. Capricorn, no arguments and fight because you'll find yourself in confusion and don't even know how you got into it. So you will have to just be patient when it do happen and keep yourself calm and remember if someone trying to stir it with you, walk away and don't continue because you can wind up in trouble. Virgo, it's time for you to do the things you feel you want to do and don't discuss your business with others. Just do it and discuss your business later on. Aquarius, stay focused spiritually now. You have a lot of attacks and a lot of people who's trying to block your energy and stop you from moving forward. You have to prepare yourself spiritually now and be ready for war spiritual. Let me see here. Leos, no, I want to do Cancer. Cancer, this is the time for you to educate the young ones. There may be people around you may need to learn. You need to just come out and tell them. Don't hold back secrets, talk the truth, and be honest with the ones that need your help. Share your blessing with the ones. I see so many people here, Taurus. You're overcoming a lot of difficulties in your life now, and you're finding your way and you're moving ahead. Don't let other people drag you down, and don't go back in the situation you just left. Keep on moving. Don't forget, I'm Sister Bonnie, the African spiritual reader. Come see me daily. Call me. I read over the telephone. The number is 718-253-7273. Again, that's 718-253-7273.
So when you give advice, like you go over all the different difficulties, like
That's 718-253-7273. Jot this number down in your phone, your iPad, store it in your computer.
Okay.
Or in a place where you can find it quickly, because at some point in time, you will need it. 718-253-7273. It's the number for the most popular and most useful reader advisor in our area. The world famous African reader and advisor, Sister Dubon. World famous African reader and advisor, Sister Dubon. A master of astrology, revealing what the stars hold for your destiny. I'm reading, telling you what's written in your book of life. Necromancy,
One,
war.
two.
If someone could show you a way through which you could know what, where, when, who, and why, through reading your past, guiding you in this present to guarantee a better future, and to make sure you seek them out. World-renowned African reader and advisor, Sister Dubon, will tell you all about marriage, love, career, even your finances and more. Make your sleepless nights, bad luck, drug abuse, or any addiction, low self-esteem, problems with loved ones, nature problems, fear of jail, court proceedings, immigration issues, a thing of the past. Call Sister Dubon now and get positive results tomorrow. Sister Dubon, the world famous African reader and advisor, 1752 Flatbush Avenue. That's 1752 Flatbush Avenue at the corner of Avenue J. Brooklyn. 718-253-7273. That's 718-253-7273.
Good morning. You're listening to the King of Kings.
Oh wow.
And I tell you,
Hey, what's going on?
and I tell you as I'm in the spirit with you this morning, maybe tonight, I can tell you one thing. I am feeling the energy of someone right now that's having a lot of problems in their life. You feel like you just want to give up. You feel like everything is just turning upside down in your life. Well, you are feeling something that is really going on with you. I know you're listening now, and I know you're thinking, is Sister Yvonne talking to me? Yes, I'm talking to you. The troubles you're having in your life is not of yours. Someone want to see you suffering. They want to see you hurt. They want to see you down and out, losing everything you got. I'm looking right now into your surroundings, and it's not a pretty scene. Something is in your house. Someone sprinkled something there to cause a lot of problems in your house. You need to take time out and clean your house and pray. And you need to ask God to forgive you for something you did wrong to somebody, that you're paying the price, that your enemies is able to conquer you through food. I need to help you. You need to call me. Go get your paper and pen and write this number down. I know you're hurting, but as I pray now, things gonna change when you walk inside of my door. I'm located 1752 Flatbush Avenue, Brooklyn, New York. 1752 Flatbush Avenue. Don't let nothing stop you from getting to me.
direct information I had received from her reading with Sister Yvonne. She was spot on with so many complicated issues I have been struggling with, and has shown a light on the answers and solutions to several dilemmas currently confronting me. This has helped me move forward with assurance. I highly recommend a session with Sister Yvonne. She is truly gifted, compassionate, and sees deeply into one's inner life. Thank you so much for the reading, sister. There's a story the gypsy knows is true, that when your love wears golden earrings, he belongs to you. An old love story that's known to very few. But if you wear those golden earrings, love will come to you. By the burning fire, they will glow with every glow. You will hear desire whisper low inside your soul. So be my gypsy, make love your guiding light.
Start spreading the news. I'm leaving today. I want to be a part of it. New York, New York. These vagabond shoes are longing to stray right through the very heart of it. New York, New York. I want to wake up in a city that doesn't sleep, and find I'm king of the hill, top of the heap. These little town blues are melting away. I'll make a brand new start of it in old New York. If I can make it there, I'll make it anywhere. It's up to you, New York, New York. To wake up in a city that never sleeps and find I'm a number one, top of the list, king of the hill, a number one. These little town blues. I'm gonna make a brand new start of it in old New York. If I can make it there, I'm gonna make it anywhere. It's up to you, New York.
Views expressed on this program are those of the host, guests, and callers, and are not necessarily those of the station, its management, or other advertisers. Use of this site and all services provided therein are for personal use only. King and Queen Radio holds no responsibility for the validity or accuracy of the information given.
We got to be the livest station. Yo, the livest station on the air. Until the next time you're on Facebook or Twitter, share. KingandQueenRadio.com, 93.5 FM.
Hey, this is Nevaeh Scott, and you're listening to King and Queen Radio, breakfast station.
It's my shot before I wait. It's 'cause you took my breath away. Losing you is like living in a world with no end. I'm here alone and wanna leave. Heart would move, it's incomplete. Wish there was a way that I can make you understand. But how do you expect me to live alone with just me? 'Cause my world revolves around you, it's so hard for me to breathe. Tell me how I'm supposed to be with no end. Can't let you be with no end. How I feel whenever you get back. It's nowhere, nowhere. Tell me how they remember what's so deep. Tell me how you know I'm without me. It's nowhere, nowhere. Right off the ground to flow to you. There's no gravity to hold me down for real. Somehow I'm still alive inside you. Took my breath, but I lost the fight. I'm going out, but I don't even care. So how do you expect me to live with just me? My world revolves around you, it's so hard to be free. Tell me how I'm supposed to be with no end. Can't live with no end. How I feel whenever you ain't there. It's nowhere, nowhere. Got me real what's so deep, so deep. Tell me how they gonna be without me. It's nowhere, nowhere.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the King and Queen Radio, BrokenStation.com, SisterTheBomb.com. If you're just joining us now, we had a great show Don't forget, every Monday from 9 p.m. to 12, you can join us on the King and Queen Radio right here, WVIP 93.5 FM. And if you want to Google in, you can text us right now. Any answer, any questions you want to know, you can text us at 347-699-6892. Again, that's 347-699-6892. You can text us at any time you have any questions in mind, anything you want to ask me, Sister Devon. Don't forget you can text me or call in 718-253-4239. Or you can call us 718-676-0820. Again, that's 718-253-4239. 718-676-0820. I have my co-host alongside me here. Mr. Israel. I would call you Mr. Israel. Tell them your name.
Ishmael.
Ishmael. Do they ever call you Israel sometimes? You probably hear a lot.
Actually, most of my friends call me. Most of my friends call me Ish, for sure.
Ish, yeah, that's nice. Ish. All right, well, we got to use your proper name. Because people are so funny, you know, they call and say, Mr. It, and all kind of stuff. You know, so, well, you know, I was thinking, what do you think about the vaccine?
So, yes.
Oh, okay. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm going to have to cut the conversation short with my co-host, Mr. Ismael, because I have to go to an interview. Okay, I have an interview with Mrs. Diane Seals. It's coming up now, and I'm ready to take that interview. Hello? Hello?
Good evening. How are you?
Good evening. How are you?
I am doing great. How are things in this beautiful state of New York?
Well, the beautiful state of New York is lovely. I tell you this afternoon, a matter of fact, it is beautiful right now, a little humid, but it's better than what it's been a couple of days. I thought I was down south somewhere. I didn't even think I was in New York. The weather took a toll on me for a couple of days. Yeah.
And how are you feeling now?
I feel beautiful talking to you now. I feel lovely. And where are you calling from?
I'm calling from Philadelphia, Pennsylvania.
Well, I'm ready to move there. It's cheaper there, and everybody from New York is going there. You must be happy. A lot of people's moving there from New York, huh?
We are getting a lot of New Yorkers. Yes, we are.
I know,
Very
because I
true.
know they shipping them out of here down there. So they're filling up that neck of the woods. They can't get rid of from upstate New York. They try Bear Mountain. So now they say, let's take them to PA. So everybody's in PA. So if you got rent to be paid, you better watch them New Yorkers. They don't like to pay no rent.
Oh, that you're very funny.
Yes.
I'm quite sure that the folks that are coming here from New York are quite responsible. We're just starting to open up here, and so everyone, there's a lot of activity in downtown Philadelphia. You know, more people are coming out to the restaurants. We've got street side tables.
Wow.
The street musicians are coming out playing music. It's starting to get crowded again. People are just happy. There's a lot of positive energy going on, and people are just happy to be out again.
Wow, that's fantastic. And what part of PA are you in?
I'm in Philadelphia. I'm in the central part of Philadelphia.
Okay. So where you at is more town, like not so much country, huh?
Oh, it's definitely city.
Okay, because I know some areas there, it's so woody, you think you're in the swamp somewhere.
Well, you know what? We have a very large park, Fairmount Park. It expands across the city from one end of the city to the other end of the city. And there are certain parts of the park where it's wooded areas. So it's not uncommon if you're driving near the park, you might see a deer come I'm out chewing grass.
And I love deer meat. So and bring the deers to New York. The people be eating them. Oh, a lot of deer inside.
But New York City, always has special place in my heart. I've had family there. I used to travel to New York a lot. I've always been charmed and impressed with New York.
Yes, that's what.
It's a different taste. It's very fast paced, very fast moving. But there's a lot of high energy.
Yeah, that's why we play New York, New York. That's what our theme song. Because I love New York. No matter where you go, you come back to New York. I don't care where you go. Once you're a New Yorker, they're gonna find their way back here. Even if most of them come back in the shelter because there's nowhere for them to stay once they come back here. They wind up in the shelter. So tell us a little bit about you and what your project and what you're doing. I was reading a lot about what you're doing. Let the audience know now.
Well, thank you. Well, first of all, I want to thank you and your colleagues for inviting me.
Yes.
I am the chair of the Communication Support Campaign for Mr. James Taylor Muhammad. He is a 79-year-old model prisoner who is serving his 50th year of a life without parole sentence at SCI, which is the abbreviation for State Correctional Institution Phoenix, which is in Collegeville, Pennsylvania. It's right outside of Philadelphia. It is the largest now maximum security prison in Pennsylvania. Mr. Taylor has been incarcerated for 50 years, and in 2019, he extended an invitation to me to represent him on communication matters. He has been trying to get his sentence commuted for about 28, almost 30 years.
Wow.
And he hasn't met with much success. And so we've changed the strategy this time around, and we've gotten a lot of support. And so we're hoping that he can come home. And one of the reasons why we want him to come home, why we want him to come back to the community, is because he has spent 15 years mentoring young incarcerated men that have come through the prison.
Yes, I read so much about him and the scholarships and the things he gained and the achievements he's doing and I read how he wants the incident that happened with him, he want to meet the parents, and he really trying to, the deed that he did, he's really repented, and all he done, they should let him go.
We're hoping that's what happens, and we're doing everything that we can. I'm happy to report that I was able to get 3 state senators to support him. They've written strong letters of endorsement. We've gotten a communication support letter from the Release Aging People in Prison organization, which is out of New York. And so we're thrilled about that. We've gotten a former deputy mayor for the city of Baltimore to write a letter of support because she strongly endorses his release. And we are continuing to work to get a groundswell support from the community. His initiatives address gun violence, they address recidivism, his initiatives address intergenerational incarceration and the school to prison pipeline. And he is the founder of People Advancing Reintegration, which is a re-entry curriculum he created and co-facilitated in 1989. It is now a 501c nonprofit that's known as People Advancing Reintegration Recycle Works, which is an electronic recycling organization that earns an estimated annual revenue of $1 million.
Wow.
And it employs 60 returning citizens and operates in Philadelphia, Pennsylvania. This is just a small sample of what he will do once he's out.
My goodness. Well, I believe that they should let him out. Did you try to contact Biden?
Okay, I'm sorry. What was your
Yes,
question?
did you try to contact the President Biden?
As a matter of fact, we have.
And what did he do?
We're waiting to hear.
I think he'll do something. Because
We've contacted Black Lives Matter, we've contacted NAACP, we've contacted a lot of folks and a lot of organizations, and we are going to continue to do that. We're going to continue to lobby. And I thank you and your colleagues for giving his campaign a forum, which we're using now to reach out to people, not just in New York, but in the United States and around the world.
Well, we all over. You're on 2 stations plus internet station, so you are heard all over the world. And it's so many people. We dedicate this station to a lot of the people incarcerated. Matter of fact, shout out to Cynthia and all the rest of them out there. And there's so many incarcerated don't need to be in there, and they keep them in there. And the ones who don't supposed to be out, they won't let them out. And those they are in there studying law and school and getting degrees. They got more degrees when they come out than the average people out.
They are among the most brilliant group of men and women that I've had the privilege to work with. It's amazing. How I got involved in reentry and mass incarceration, it was through my journal, In Search of Fatherhood. It's the Fatherhood and Men's Issues Journal, which I launched to honor the memory of my mentor, who died unexpectedly.
Oh.
And this was one of his projects.
Oh, that's wonderful.
And the first group of men to totally embrace his vision were incarcerated men.
Oh, isn't that
And
wonderful?
so they would send me their material. I would publish it, send them a copy of the journal, and then they would write me back. Not only would they thank me, but they would say things like, I'm 30 years old and I've been in prison since I'm 16. I'm 25 and I've been here since I'm 18. And I was getting the same story from men from Maine to Hawaii. And I was like, well, none of these people know each other. Why are they all telling me the same story? And so I started asking questions, and I started doing my research and investigating. People came into my life that gave me answers, and they're saying, well, it's the school to prison pipeline. It's lack of education, lack of jobs. It's no accident that so many folks of African descent find themselves entrapped in the legal system. And as you pointed out, they find themselves in a situation where they're serving 20, 30, 40, 50 years behind bars when they should be out.
Well, my co-hosts want to say something to you, but I'm just going to say this and then I'm going to put my co-hosts on. Former slavery. And that's how slavery has to be kept one way. So which way would you keep the blacks in? Is too smart to get rid of the males by putting them in jail. And when they come out, they can't find, even if they got all the education in the world, there's nothing there that they're going to find that they can do. So where they go? Back to jail. Start the drug scene, back to jail, guns and violence. So I'm going to put my co-host on and I'll come back with you. Here's Mr. Ismail.
So
Thank you.
my question to you is, for any of the petitions that you filed to get them released, did you ever reach out to the aggrieved families to see if they read a letter on his behalf saying that he stated he served his time, he showed his ability to repent by all the programs that he started? Did you ever have the families write a letter stating that? Because that might go a long way in your petition to get him at least the opportunity to go
And
forward.
funny you should mention that. You're very correct, and that is the strategy that we're using. The strategy that we're using is we are presenting to the board a strong case as to why he should be released, because we realize the board, and I'm going to say this as gently as I can, they find that they need justification for doing that. So if someone questions them and says, well, you let this person out, this person did X, Y, and Z, how could you do that? Well, they can then point to this long list. Well, this person it's very obvious to us that this person, beyond a shadow of a doubt, has transformed themselves. They have done X, Y, and Z. And that our letters, the letters that go out to the Board of Pardons discuss that. We emphasize the fact that Mr. Taylor brings value to the community, particularly when it comes to resolving gun violence. We have a very horrendous gun violence situation here in Philadelphia. As a matter of fact, on the 15th of July, we unfortunately marked our 300th homicide by gun.
Oh my goodness. And I thought New York was bad.
And this weekend, 30 people were shot and 3 people died. It's just rampant. And so we need people like Mr. Taylor, men and women like Mr. Taylor, who have initiatives that they've created while they were incarcerated. We need them to come back to the community to help members in the community and professionals in the community and the mayors of these cities that are deluged with gun violence and need help.
So,
and some of the solutions are in prison.
So why don't you take this strategy? I would suggest that if he come back and he work with the authorities, he still could be incarcerated. They can put one of those ankle bracelet on him in the meantime and see how his performance, and you will be able to prove that this man is worthy. Because what happened in a case like that, if you let the one correct word prisoner go, then like you say, they're gonna want everybody to say, well, there's other prisoners in that's doing just as good, may have not been recognized. And they're gonna come forward and they're gonna say, well, I wanna get out too. And the other ones.
Well, let me get you some notes of that, because we're working on that as well. Unfortunately, life without parole in Pennsylvania means life. There's legislation that has been put forth to, if it's passed and enacted, would allow individuals who are serving life without parole sentences, if they serve 25 years and have a good record, they would be put on the parole track.
Well, that's wonderful. I think that's the best way to go by it, because they're not going to change them old laws, and you'll be just out there just kicking and screaming and beating, and they'll just be sitting back, okay, we'll do something, never nothing get done. So the best way is to go by the route of letting him work with the authorities. They love that.
That's a great idea.
Yes.
Thank you.
Yes.
So what you were talking about was having him be released, but under a form of house arrest.
That's
Where
right.
he has an ankle monitor.
Yes,
And like I said, mentioned before, in addition to what he's already done, the family members of the person that he hurt,
yes.
have them write a letter if they
Well,
support
he
him.
wants to meet them. I read the review. He wants to meet the family.
Oh, okay.
So,
But no family members have come forward. As recently as last June, he submitted another letter in the Apology Bank where he once again expressed his desire to meet with them,
yes, I read
to
that.
express his remorse, and to bring closure to them.
Well, that never gonna bring closure, but it's a good thing to do.
Yes.
Because I lost a son by gun tragically, so I mean by fire tragedy,
I'm so sorry.
homicide, and it never leaves you. And even though the killers are still out there, you hate them, but then nothing you can do about it. You don't even want to see them. It can bring them. Yes, I understand the pain.
I
So
express my condolences to you and
Yes.
to your family on your loss.
yes, and the law do very much of anything. So I know what it is to suffer that. So you have to go through that pain, and you really don't want to see the killers because it don't bring closure. Sometimes it can bring. Better you don't know.
Well,
Hmm.
I'm a big fan of forgiveness. If the person is actually remorseful and is showing actions to help others. So in this gentleman's case, where he's actually created a program, the program's up and running,
Yes,
they're
that's
picking up his
beautiful.
about. That to me is someone that deserves a second chance, especially
Yes,
seeing as
yes,
how
he
many times
does.
he has served.
Yes, he does. And that's why you have to work very close with the authorities to let them know you're not putting him out to be free, that he's going to be doing a job. I mean, he'll get his little time free
Well,
under supervision.
yeah, that is great. That is something I will take into consideration.
You know, that's a start. That's a start. That's a start. It's like prison, but if you let them free, that's not going to work with the American system. Because they said they're going to use that always. Well, if I let him free, well, I got family, and then they're not coming out, and they went to Harvard and every other place. You know what I'm saying? So it can open up. It can open up a can of worms. So you got to play your game with the system and be part of the system.
Well, that's a fascinating strategy. Thank you. I'd like to say that he has the support of a number of community stakeholders, and there is an external group that's been created that is working to establish the 2 gun violence-free zones, which is one of his visions, and a business-driven reentry zone that will provide returning citizens with jobs, housing, clothing, food, and transportation. And one of the mentoring initiatives that he created and co-facilitates at the FBI Phoenix, which is where he is now, a Project Pipeline, Prison to Youth, Reclaiming Their Lives as Men, is in the process of being exported into the community where it will help address the gun violence. It will provide at-risk youth and young adults with the cognitive skills that they need to transform their mindset, their decision-making and behavior, and at the same time provide them with entrepreneurial and vocational skills training so that they can not only get jobs, but create jobs and employ members of the community.
All right. Well, how can the people get in contact with you so they can also support Right, be able to support this great cause? Because we need that here, not only in PA, but worldwide, especially. I hope they can get some of them to come to New York and put some of them programs here as well, because they need it, because the prisoners come out and they absolutely have nothing to do, nothing but go back to trouble. So, and they have the funds now. They can't say they don't have the funds. They got them. So you need to talk real fast and get down.
Alrighty, well, the best way to reach me is through Mr. Taylor's website at www.jamesmohammedtaylor.com. And there's a contact form. They can reach me there, or they can email me directly at insearchoffatherhood@gmail.com.
In search of fatherhood at Gmail.
Gmail.com.
Oh, that is so beautiful. Who can't remember that? In search of fatherhood at gmail.com. And say the name again, the website. So,
Okay, it's www.james, Muhammed, Taylor, TAYLOR.com.
now, folks out there, I want you to support the cause. This is a beautiful man, and he's worthy to be out helping the community. So do show your support. And it's been a pleasure. I want to get you back on again. And it's been a
I would
pleasure.
love to. Thank you for the invitation.
Yes.
And thank you for all that you do. I want to thank you, all of your colleagues that made it possible for me to be on the phone to talk to you and your audience.
Yes.
And I've enjoyed talking to you. I feel like I've known you forever, even though this is the first time we're talking.
Yes, and I love your vibration and continue that lovely work you're doing because it's excellent work. So you do books as well, huh?
Well, I do. I publish a journal, and I publish articles and essays, and I also publish items on the blog for In Search of Fatherhood. And I'm also a journalist, so I do some writing.
I could tell that right away. So we have a lot to talk. So you keep my number, and anytime you want to come on the show, we'll bring you on. Okay?
Thank you so much. Have a wonderful evening. Have a great weekend, and thanks for a great week. And thanks for everything. I'm rushing the week here.
Yeah, that's okay. The weather gets us all confused sometimes. Thank you, sweetheart, and you have a blessed night.
Thank you.
Bye.
Take care. Bye-bye.
Ismael, it's a great to have people like her, isn't it?
Yes, it is.
And what do you think about the whole topic that we just discussed?
So one of the things that I learned is that Pennsylvania, the state in general, has the largest population of incarcerated Black men out of any state.
And I didn't know that. And now I understand why New York State easy to give them houses in PA. They run all the Black people to give them, say they can live there. You look around and going, so they're trying to make us a Black city, and they got everybody in one, and they can incarcerate you, and God only know what the law says.
The law is extremely tough over there.
So they got new prison and new slave. They can ship them all over and have them working free.
And that's why the gentleman's program is important, because it will save a lot of young Black men from going on that ride and going to prison.
Wow. So do you know any suggestions here when prisoners come out of jail where they should go? Is there halfway houses in all those places good?
Yes.
Here in New York?
So there are several halfway houses across every borough, right? But what I would tell them is develop trade skills.
Yes.
Right? Develop a skill that will allow you to work once you get out without the need for a college degree. Because what I realized from...
And they learn trades there.
Yes.
But they don't realize that's valuable when they come out here. And then a lot of prisons stay in there and don't take trades.
Exactly.
That's what I don't understand. They go exercise all day. Then why don't you come out here and start a gym or athletic, get a degree in it?
Exactly. Create a business where you can become the owner.
And we got so many prisoners listening to the show. The prisoners love me, by the way, so they're all listening. And I want you to listen to what he says, and I'm saying it too. Get whatever education, whatever trade in there you can pick up, because they don't make it easy for them to get trades in there either. You know?
Exactly.
Because I hear this all the time. They can't just get trades the way they want. You have to be a certain way or do what they want in order to get a trade.
But you know what though? It's gonna give you a leg up because what ends up happening is if they don't develop a trade, they don't develop skills, when they go out, it's hard for them to get a job. And if it's hard for them to get a job, what are they gonna do? Go back to life of crime and other things. So it becomes a cycle. So you need to recognize that, listen, I found myself in this current position, but I'm not gonna let it define me, and I'm not gonna be caught in the cycle. So I need to do something outside of what I've already been doing in a positive aspect to make sure I don't get back there.
Okay, folks. Thank you for your advice, Ismael, and I know they're going to carry that out. Folks, you listen to King and Queen Radio. Don't forget I'm Sister Devon, the African Spiritual Reading. You're having troubles in your life right now? You need some spiritual help? Call me, 718-253-7273. I don't care what you're going through, what kind of problems you're going through. You're having difficulties getting money. I have things, the spiritual baths to give you. I also have lucky oils and different potions to give you for your spiritual need. That's right, I do spiritual work too to undo hexes, spiritual voodoo doctors. Like the spiritual voodoo doctor had me under the weather, but I'm here tonight anyway. So I guess he can forget his spells. Okay, so this week it's good to light a yellow candle to bring some success in your life. Light a yellow candle and do the 51st Psalm, and that will bring you some good luck in your life. And your lucky number tonight is 84-16-7-3-1. Wow, those are good numbers. And I like 755 and 8107. So folks, we got to keep going on and on, because you never know, probably another guest going to show up tonight. And if you'd like to be a guest on this show, you can write at kingandqueenradio@gmail.com. kingandqueenradio@gmail.com. You can call 718-253-7273 or text 347-699-6892. And we're going to be giving you some information next week where you're going to be able to call here and talk to Ismael on different topics, and we're going to be talking about finance and a lot of good stuff that you're going to be giving out the numbers, and we're going to be helping these people, because a lot of them got to get these loans and they got to get things.
Absolutely.
And that's why you're here. You're here to help the people.
If I could teach someone and educate them, and it not only benefits them but future generations, why not?
There you go. That's what I love about you, because you're here to help the people. It's not no greed for yourself. You get a lot of these people that gonna hate you too hard to keep you protected, because they're gonna go at you, because you got a lot of them doing these shows and they're not helping the people. It's just to get a finance, and they've been through it already. So a lot of people gonna say, oh, because they usually charge you a fee, $100 to start off with some fee, and then they never do nothing.
Yep.
You understand? We are all about truthness and goodness from God, and everything is good this way. You wouldn't be with me if it wasn't good. So, all right, folks, so don't forget to call me Sister Devon. That's 718-253-7273, and we're going to take you back to DJ Tony Dance. He played some good music last night. That's why I'm telling. I was up last night between him and the DJs on Sunday. We had a great time.
There's another testimony from Jerry in New Jersey. There are many quote-unquote readers out there who will take advantage of your vulnerability for their own personal gain. Sister Devon is not one of those. A lot of things have happened in my life personally, most of it not very good. I have felt lost and scared with what was happening, like watching an ugly car wreck in slow motion. I turned to Sister Devon to receive some guidance and perspective in my life. With her talents and caring, she's given me good advice and hope. I have been shown what I need to do and what actions I need to take to help myself. Sister Devon tells me like it is, and if I'm not sure of anything, she will have no problem clarifying it for me. When a person is facing hard times, it is wonderful to have someone like Sister Yvonne in your corner. Her accuracy in what is happening in my life is spot on. I would highly recommend an email or a phone reading with Sister Yvonne, as I have always come away feeling better about myself. And if the day I am having is bad, I pull out one of her readings from my wallet, or rather one of her prayers, which you can find at sisteryvonne.com. And her words of encouragement and caring actually keep me focused. Thank you so much, Sister Yvonne. You are one of the best.
I don't worry about nobody. People do their job.
Chilling in the 446, had a light, without a big VIP for the night. Showers in my dozen feet, made a light. Pull up to up, baby, beat twice. Jumped and we threw like house in police. We never done by my wrist and piece. Left right there in her DVD. She's a baller and I'm a baller. But one for the hot girls living fiesta. For the hot girls living fiesta. For my shotgun digger fiesta. And I'm a jam down digger fiesta. So I'm a tear down a fiesta. And if you're sitting on the plane of fiesta, you know the fiesta. And I'm going to do it fiesta. I'm in the club, sipping up. I feel like keeping the vibe bubbling. She burns in the back, I'm not showing up. Still names I can spot, I'm showing up. I'm saying I got a body, but I'm coming. I'm just gonna find it back, got them now. Taking things off in the back, rough them up. I'm not for her, no waste, I'm for her. So close to one of my first living
This is Diane Aisha Sears, pre-opera House of Fluid, the New Republic Africa chair, coming to support campaign for James Muhammad Taylor on King and Queen Radio, Brooklyn Station.
You know what else? Deep pop fish on a daily basis. It's all over the place. That's the way I'm feeling, make your way. Something ends up, you can make your pay. And it looks you just like your way. So let me show you how you feel. When you're really on the territory, 14 days, I let you know what's on the actors living fiesta. You want the actors living fiesta. You want the shotgun diggers fiesta. And I'm a shotgun diggers fiesta. You want the outhouse fiesta. And if you're sitting on the plane of fiesta, tell them I'm in the club fiesta. And if you're going to the club fiesta, chilling in the 446 Cadillac.
When mama wasn't rich, I daddy was poor. I couldn't take no more. My little sister S, she cried every day. She said, brother, remember what you want. You just what do you get over it? You won't stay over it.
Because I know if you get somebody gets like on average 5 years.
Just like a fish in the sea. That's what I'll be. I'll keep on trying. There's a way. There must be a way. We'll get over it. We won't stay over it. Yes, I know it. I know it.
Wow. It's getting that time. There we go, Jamaica. I'd like to say a shout out to all the Caribbean islands out there. And everybody listening to us now. We had a great show. And me and Ismael going to bring you some more news. So tell us what you think about the vaccine.
So I started out researching. So you know me, I like to do a lot of research. I'm not going to talk about necessarily COVID right now because it's a tough subject. But what I did find interesting, it's one study that I read by William Thompson
Yes.
stated that Black boys in particular, when they're given the MMR vaccine before the age of 2, because the average person develops an immune system between the ages of 2 and 3 years old, right?
Mhm.
So if they get before 2, they're more likely to develop autism, ADHD, and there's one more disorder. So that to me was a shock. They're 2 times more likely than their white counterparts to develop those disorders if they take those vaccines before the age of 2.
Wow.
So I'm like, why isn't this more publicly known? Why isn't this,
Sometimes it is public known, but sometimes people won't let you know. Remember them old folks? I blame our people too because they was a type of people don't ask no questions. You remember that? Don't ask me no questions. So if you couldn't ask no questions, how could you ever find out the truth or anything? And even if they knew it, a lot of times, I think it's from the old slave days, you wasn't allowed to tell. I watched them slave movies and a lot of them make sense. The slaves actually could not even show how smart they was.
Yes.
You couldn't even show the white man that you could talk proper. So you can't really blame the Black Americans that they used to say they were stupid, talk dumb. It was that they didn't allow you, if you got caught talking proper or even talking like a white man, you got beat up, stoned, and everything else. So you had to play the role always as an animal, like you knew nothing. So I guess after people was freed, that selfishness followed them, that they wouldn't tell the kids anything. They knew things, but they wouldn't tell them. Then it spread it on, well, I'm not going to tell a neighbor, nobody else, and that the disease going on to today. Like if they know something, most Black people won't tell you.
That has been my experience. For example, I was having a conversation with my neighbors
Mm-hmm.
about real estate.
Yeah.
And a neighbor of mine, 2 houses down, lost their home.
Yeah.
And he had the information to help them, but didn't get involved. And I'm like, that's your neighbor. You've known them for
It
50
would
years.
not help. It would not help them.
Well, I should say he would not. He did not. I wouldn't say he would not. He did not.
The same would not, did not,
So I'm like,
could not, he didn't do it.
what we need to do as a community is share the information that we have, right? But at the same time, we need to make sure that we value those who are showing it as well.
Well, I don't say that anymore. Go to Google. Okay? Google got it right there for you. Because people even tell you a lie, even when you're looking at Google, they don't know what they're talking about. They telling lies there. I actually tell you, people tell you telling lies. Okay, we got to go for that break, and we'll be right back.
Get up in the morning, saving for rest. So that every mouth can be fed.
Get something on your dress. Get dressed. Get something on your dress.
Get up in the morning, saving for rest. So that every mouth can be fed. Get up in the morning, saving for rest. So that every mouth can be fed. Get up in the morning, saving for rest. So that every mouth can be fed. Oh, it is rise up. Get up in the morning, saving for rest. So that every mouth can be fed. was young to see. In my tear of don't take so low. In the back for the
Baby, you are love. Cause you really never see so good as I was feeling. Got my cup of tea in the morning. I got my sugar at night. You never seen a man can possible one. You never think that a man can possible me. Got my day woman. A woman who is really strong. A beautiful woman. I'm gonna think about the energy to the one that I doubt. Baby, you got to understand. I would really love her. Y'all my job make a woman. My baby woman.
dancing with all the men, waiting for the rising sun. Everyone was having fun. Hate to see the lady go. No way, she never know.
Hi, this is Teddy Brunetti, the Queen of Pittsburgh, and you're listening to King and Queen Radio, WVIP 93.5 FM, Brooklyn.
Start spreading the news. I'm leaving today. I want to be a part of it. New York, New York. These vagabond shoes are longing to stray right through the very heart of it. New York, New York. I want to wake up in a city that doesn't sleep and buy 19 on the hill, top of the heat. These little town blues are melting away. I'll make a brand new start of it in old New York. If I can make it there, I'll make it anywhere. It's up to you, New York, New York. I want to wake up in a city that never sleeps and find I'm #1, top of the list, king of the hill. These little town blues, oh, melting away. I'm gonna make a brand new start of it in old New York. If I can make it there, I'm gonna make it anywhere. It's up to you, New York, New York, New York.
Views expressed on this program are those of the host, guests, and callers, and are not necessarily those of the station, its management, or other advertisers. Use of this site and all services provided therein are for personal use only. King and Queen Radio holds no responsibility for the validity or accuracy of the information given.
Yo, it's your boy Lil KC. You now tuning in to King and Queen Radio. Let's get it.
Looking back on then, was a little that big-headed boy. But I told you not to go outside. Try your best to bring the water to your eyes. Thinking it might stop us from moving that high. It's the gates. Good. Come back and smoke. Why hit the gate? It's the gate. Good. Come back and smoke. Why hit the gate? I love this world. Girl, said he's telling what you paying, doctor, play that girl. Just don't tell I give you anything you want, just hold my word. I'ma get you money for Sunday school. You drink just for candy, have the church school. Smoking cigarettes. I got something nasty from the wall. He just into the principal office down the hall. You grow up and learn that how to get it right. While you were doing it, it struck the other side of the thing. Girl, come back,
I went out there, touched the tree, got to get in
It's coming out, but I'll check the battery off.
Whoa. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to back. We're back. There we go, Jamaica, the Way Beyond show. Sometime we bring it way beyond. And I got my co-host alongside here, Mr. Ismail. Which is better, Mr. Ismail? Whatever is good for you, Ismail is better. So the audience can get more acquainted with you. Don't think you're an old man. You're a young man, not an old man. So Ismail is alongside me here, and we're just gonna bring it to you raw. What's going on? What's new?
So, I'm always someone that likes to look into different things. In terms of to me, learning is the most important thing, right?
Mm-hmm.
So I'm always looking into what's going on around the world. And one thing that piqued my interest was what's going on currently in the cryptocurrency market.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Talk to me about that because, cryptocurrency, I'm going to have to do my homework too. You're going to be putting me back in college because I'm in the old school and I can tell you out there, and my audience out there, we got the young ones, but we need to educate a lot of the old ones too. What is really crypto? That is the main thing that we are dealing with. A lot of people here may not understand the crypto. When you hit them in the face, but is that going to be the new term for money?
In a sense, yes. It all depends on how well they execute its current viability.
And it's what, honey?
Its current viability, meaning that cryptocurrency is set up so that, you know, it's created value based on our belief in it and our valuation in it, right? So in a similar way where, for example, currency, right, isn't real.
Mm-hmm.
The only thing that gives currency its value and its power is our belief in it, right?
Mm-hmm.
Money was real. Money was backed by gold. You need to have a certain amount of gold in the banks need to have a certain amount of gold in their reserves, right, in order to lend out money. When we switched over to currency, it became digital, right? So when we switched over to currency, that's when our debt increased dramatically as a nation,
Mm-hmm.
right? So, and the reason why they could do that is because there's nothing backing currency. They could print it out of thin air. They could print money out of thin air, and by the time we get that dollar in our hand, it's devalued, hence
Wow.
inflation, right? So anytime they print money, the value of our money goes down.
Wow.
So now cryptocurrency, yeah, it's currency, is similar to, let's just say, the dollar right now. The only thing that gives it its value is our belief in it, all right? So the crypto market was set up so that using blockchain technology, I'm not going to get too deep into that because it can get a little complicated. But basically, they found a way to create a currency that cannot be duplicated. Right?
Okay, so crypto cannot be duplicated.
It cannot. You can create your own cryptocurrency,
Yeah.
right?
Mm-hmm.
But it can't be duplicated.
Okay.
Meaning that no one could just copy you could just create crypto out of thin air and just say it has its value. That's not how it works, right?
Mhm.
It can be mined, it can be bought, but it can't just be created out of thin air just like that. For example, there's a limited. Bitcoin is the most popular one, so let's talk about that for a little bit, right?
Mm-hmm.
There's only a certain number of Bitcoin that can ever be created. No one can duplicate it, and no one can
Wow.
replicate it, right? So Bitcoin actually follows how gold moves on the stock market. They're very similar in that regard. But where, to me, that the current industry of crypto is messing up is the fact that it's being controlled by a lot of wealthy investors, and they're doing it to try to get the money from the average person. Before that became a thing, it made the most millionaires out of average people within the last, I want to say, 7 years.
So now it's corrupted.
Now
You got to be careful.
it's tainted. I would say corrupted, but it's tainted.
Like
where-
a certain community owns it.
it's not that they own it, but what they'll do is this, right? They will create buzz around a particular cryptocurrency because there are many. There are thousands, right? They'll create buzz around a certain cryptocurrency. They will invest their money into it at a low price, right? And that buzz will then motivate other average people to invest in it, hoping to get a good return. But by the time the average person invests into it, and by the time they actually know everything that's going on, and be like, oh, this is a good investment, once it rises to a certain number, the wealthy just pull their money right back out, and they made an increase on their money, and now the average person, whatever money that they put in, is now valued less. Because the way it works is similar to a stock.
Yeah, same thing.
If you buy it low and it goes high, you made a profit. But if you buy it high and then it goes low, you lost money. So one of the biggest cryptocurrencies, Ethereum, one of its co-founders walked away for that reason. Because he said, I don't like what's going on. We created this with pure intentions, right? And now it's being tainted.
Well, you know, anything that you do where it's going to be a valuable, after a while it's going to get corrupted.
That is true.
Because there's greed always going to set in.
But I do have faith in the community that, that they will find a way around that. Because to me, cryptocurrency is necessary in today's economy. Reason being, money, when controlled by a few, is dangerous, and it turns people into slaves. Cryptocurrency put the power back in the average person's hand, right? Where it's not controlled by the government, it's not controlled by anyone else.
Okay, I got you.
It's controlled by the community.
Mm-hmm.
Now, unfortunately, what's happening is the community is being controlled by wealthy.
Yes. Wow. Mm-hmm.
Yes.
Go ahead.
So, that's currently what's going on. And another popular coin, one of the co-founders is walking away from that same reason, Dogecoin, right? Which is what we heard all the buzz about for like the last couple of months, Doge, and all these other things where,
So he walked away from it.
he walked away from it. And, it's sad to see, unfortunately, because, it's not dead because people are still investing in it, they're still valuing it, it still has a strong community. But for what its original intentions were versus how it's not being used, to me, it's
Just
crazy.
a small investment.
But I will say this though, I have a strong hunch, an inkling, that the people who are trying to destabilize cryptocurrency the most are the financial institutions.
Of course.
Because with cryptocurrency, you don't need a bank.
They don't need a bank and they can't control anything.
Exactly.
So they're gonna outlaw it sooner or later.
Exactly. So every so
The
often,
government has to get money in order to keep the country going. So they'll tax it or find a way in it.
so what they already did was, at first they didn't recognize it as real. Then when they saw how much money people were making from it, then they decided to tax it as real. And now once they started doing that, that's when it just blew up. Everything just blew up. That's when other cryptocurrencies started being made,
Yeah, because now everybody can get involved. It's taxes and the whole 9 yards.
Yeah. But I will say though, I do have faith in the market. I will say if you are going to invest in it, do your research. Make sure that you understand the ins and the outs. Make sure you understand how to maneuver the money. Because
But do you have to have someone that you hire to do it for you? Is that advisable?
I would hire something like that. I would hire someone to teach me how to do it.
But learn how to do it
But learn
yourself.
how to do it yourself. I'm somebody that if I'm investing my money or my equity, my time into something, right? I want to learn how to at least do the basics of it,
Mhm.
so that if I can't find my, let's say, crypto financial advisor, I won't lose all my profits because I don't know what to do with it. You know what I'm saying?
I got you.
So you can hire somebody to do it for you, to show you how to do it, but you need to learn. Always, if you're gonna invest in it, always learn. I also just anyone invest into something that they don't understand, because then it becomes from an asset to a
Then you
liability.
become liability on the person.
Exactly.
They make the wrong move, that's your money.
Exactly.
So folks, it's something interested to learn crypto. I know you still don't understand the language yet, but that's the new world, you got to learn it.
Yes, it is. And more every year, more and more companies are willing to accept cryptocurrency. So it's not going anywhere. It's going to be around.
So much is going to be around. Do you actually think they're going to take money out of existing? Because everything is with the card now. And I notice if you use your card, you use money more faster. That card make you use your money faster, don't it?
Yes. So, well, one of the distinctions I'm going to make, especially for our audience, because I want to educate them, is we don't necessarily use money anymore. We use currency.
Okay, currency.
Yeah. So when we use credit cards, right? Because we're not counting every 100 that we spend. It's just a quick swipe and everything gets paid. We're more likely to spend more than we need to,
Yeah.
or we wanted to, right? And then again, America. We live in America, so America is a very consumer-based nation.
Mhm.
So there's always something on sale or somebody trying to promote something to us that makes it seem like we need something. When
And we will get it.
we will get it because now we have credit.
You got
We
the
just borrow
credit
money.
because the card is credit.
And then when we don't pay attention to our credit spending, chances are we're going to end up with bad credit. And then once you have bad credit, you're pretty much, you put yourself down a path that makes it a lot more challenging to get anything of value later on need to finance anything. If you have bad credit, getting a car, you're gonna end up paying more. If you want to buy a home, you're gonna end up paying more. You know, if you need a loan, business loan, because when you first start a business, they usually use your personal credit, you're gonna end up paying more if you have bad credit. So, you know, credit cards are good, but we need to be mindful of our spending.
And that's what we not.
Well, I can't say.
Well, a lot of people not, because you out in the public, you somewhere, and you can just swipe a card. You say, well, I got money. And you know where you lose all your money is in casinos.
Yes.
I went to a casino one time, and I thought I spent $100. When I got home, I had spent $900.
Wow.
Because the gas, the chemicals they put in there, you don't realize what time it is. At the same time, you don't realize you're spending money.
That's done by design. For everything from the fact that you can't see outside.
You can
the setup of machines, you know.
Clicking the baby. And that's why I said, wait a minute, I know I didn't spend. I said $900.
The fact that there's no clocks on the inside, you know.
And you just spend you're swiping that card and not even making the way you use the card.
So I recently had a discussion with someone who I considered wise when it comes to going to casinos, where she said, I go there with a set amount that I'm willing to spend. For her, she doesn't go that often, but she spends about $800 every time she goes in.
I wish I could get $800. I may go with $300 and $200, and I do win it back.
You know, so
and now a DJ won $5,000 one day.
Nice.
And that's the first he hit. And he says, I said, you're gonna win some money. He didn't believe me. He went after having nothing and bingo, $5,000.
So what you just said that I liked was the fact that you said, you know what, I know how much I can spend $800 every time, but I know I can spend at least 2 to 3 when I go.
That's it.
And that's it.
You go for enjoyment, just for but when you start 800 and 900, that's ridiculous.
Well, so she has a lot of money though. So.
When you got that, you know. And I know, I know the black people who take care of the Asian people, and the majority of them in the casino. So I think all of our money just go to them in the casino. I ain't for them to lose because the prices on the product go sky high.
Well, you know, I tell people this: casinos aren't designed for you to make money. They're designed to take your money. That's why you need to have a set budget. So if you're going to go to a casino, understand that you have the money that you go with, you have to be okay with losing.
Yeah, you're going to lose. You have to, I just want to lose some money. But it's real dumb how people would go to throw away money. But it's amazing how I just heard the other day that in Atlanta, I'm not going to say what the stripper name, but this stripper is getting $10,000 from men. Just throwing the money on her. She is making money, and they say the place there, people go there just to throw money on this certain stripper.
Listen, by no means am I saying it's the ideal job, but a lot of strippers make 6 figures.
Yeah, they make good money.
Yes.
Is it a challenge with men to compete? What is that with the strippers that they can make so much money out of the men? Is it a compete with the other men? What is that ego thing? There's something behind that.
So I'm saying that I look at it a little bit differently, right? In the outside world, in the everyday world, men compete for women's attention.
Okay.
When you go to the strip club, it's the other way around. Where now, instead of you chasing after them, they're coming to you. It's that sense of value.
Oh.
That's how I look at it anyway, right?
Okay, so now they're chasing after you.
And so now you feel important. Right?
Now you feel important, so you must demonstrate to everybody.
See, and when you start throwing money at them, right? What happens? You get the attention of other strippers, or you get the attention of people saying, "Oh my God, look at this guy," and makes you feel like a man. So to some of them,
So
right?
it make them feel like a man. So $10,000. I ain't gonna say that stripper name, but she need to come here and strip right here. We'll have a private show. Let her strip right here for $10,000. That's some big money that people, and they proudly get this money.
Mm-hmm.
And the bottles and the stuff they open.
Listen,
The champagne. But is that a man ego? Is it something they feel good about around the other guys? Is it what is that? It has to have something to it. Is it a drug? Is it maleness? Is it they get honored by other men? They get recognition, or what is it?
I can't speak for every guy, but what I've learned, it's once again, it's that attention. It's going to be entertained.
Okay.
Because there are some strippers out there who actually entertain. You know, besides the dancing where they're shaking their ass, but sometimes they do pole tricks and other things like that. They actually entertain. So you go to a place where you can be entertained. You go to a place where, you know, for some people they only go with their friends, where they, you know, they could go out and have a good time, and at the same time getting attention from others.
Okay.
You know, so I guess for guys, you know, it's
so the wife home suffering and the kids hollering and he out there getting
it really it's like that sometimes. And you know what? So I always say this stuff, and I always tell people, do what makes you feel comfortable.
But asking you, does that really makes him feel good?
To some men, yeah.
Wow.
Some men getting that.
So that
attention
rush
and
will make him go back again.
Yeah, absolutely. You know, one of my mentors growing up said, everybody walks around with a necklace that says, make me feel important. You just don't see it. Right?
Oh.
So if you don't make yourself feel important, you're going to want others to make you feel important.
Okay.
So, once again, they get certain validation from going to these places. They get to feel good. They get to feel
So what happened? He go back next week and she giving somebody else attention.
And then he pulls out his money, and then, you know, like I said,
And then she
as long as you have money to
so she got
Listen,
strippers.
before COVID, I've never heard of a shortage of strippers. You know, there's always a stripper for somebody.
The strippers are making money. When I heard that, and the guy was telling me that his wife sitting right there, he said that stripper was good. I said, huh? He said everybody was throwing that money and I was just watching. I said, yeah, you was throwing that money too. Your wife sitting on that. She over there with a bad face. I said, okay.
Listen, you know what though? But here's the thing though, and I always say this. Guys will do what women allow them to get away with.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
If she had set standards, don't get me wrong, because I've met a lot of women who actually enjoy going to strip clubs themselves.
Yes,
right?
a lot of them do.
So I'm not gonna knock that, but I'm saying that if you don't like that your guy is doing that, and you consider that a disrespect, that's a competition that you guys need to have, right? Because once again, a guy will get away with whatever a woman allows him to.
Okay. I hope y'all listen out there. Let the man know in advance. Don't play games, and then later on he do something and you didn't tell him not to do it. But isn't that controlling? A lot of men don't like to be controlled. That's a part of where he would tell her, well, you're not my mother.
Okay. So my view on that is very simple, right? It's called having standards for yourself, right? There's certain things that I won't do because I've set a standard for myself in relationships, right?
Yes.
I won't demand anything of my spouse or my significant other, except for one thing, right? Where it's I want you to love yourself unconditionally. That's anytime I date a girl, that's what I tell her. I'm not gonna ask you to do anything out the ordinary. I'm not gonna demand anything from you. I just want you to love yourself unconditionally. And the reason why I make that be the only request is because when you love yourself unconditionally, right, you want the best for yourself. You'll only choose things that are the best for you, right? And then when you do that, you then have a problem solver mentality. So then it's not me versus you, it's me and you versus the problem. See the difference? And then it's not, if I see something that where you need improvement, I only have to tell you about 1, 2, or 3 times, right? If you truly care about yourself, to change it. If you see a problem in that behavior, because that's where that self-love comes in. So, you know, that's the standard I set for myself. And I've dated women where I told them that, and when I dated them, they feel like they can live up to a standard. They're like, you know, the way you conduct yourself, I feel like I have to be a certain way every time I'm around you. I didn't tell them to do anything, but because I have that standard for myself, they felt it.
That's good and bad, because then you can make the person feel uncomfortable, and then she may be faking you
So here's the thing.
And then when she switch up and becomes something else, you say, well, you wasn't like that before.
So you're right in that regard. But at the same time, if you're faking it, because I've dated women and they felt uncomfortable in that situation, and then we break up, and I'm like, fine. The thing is, if you get comfortable where you are, right, and you're not looking to better yourself and grow, that's fine for you, right? But if you're not looking to better yourself, you're gonna have the same experience over and over again, and eventually what happens, you become bored with life. You become bored with yourself.
Wow.
And then you look for a party to go to, you look for things outside yourself to have fun. And then it becomes addiction. I need to go out to this place to have fun. I need to go out to this, you know.
And it's never into it.
And you're never.
And you're never gonna find the true happiness because you continue in the same playground.
Same habits, same everything.
And the same people is in that same playground looking for the same thing you are, and they never gonna find it either because you're all full of it.
Exactly. The wealthiest
Instead of knowing yourself, you're looking for somebody else to validate you.
Exactly. The wealthiest people always invest in themselves. They always look to learn something new. They always look to expand themselves. Why? Because it brings a new spark to life. Imagine if you're dating somebody, right? And they love themselves unconditionally. They're constantly looking to learn and to expand themselves. Every 3 years, it's like you're dating a completely new person.
And that's more challenging, more fun
Exactly.
than just somebody in the same rut going nowhere. Folks, this is very interesting out there. If you're liking it, call in 718-253-4239, 718-676-0820. That's a great topic we're discussing. It's really about knowing yourself and where you want to go and change your life and look for better things because you can get stuck.
Yes.
And you can't grow. Life is meant for you to meet challenge, to not be afraid, to don't fear, and take that chance. You got to take that road, and that's what so many people are afraid. So many people right now in their home, and they're in there, and so many lonely people right now. I don't know where to go. I don't know what to do. I got no friends. Well, you're sitting there every night doing the same thing, what you expect. You got to find something to entertain yourself.
Absolutely. So I always say this, right? Before anyone's qualified to date someone else, they need to date themselves.
Yes. You got to know you first.
Exactly. So one of the things I do is every year I try to do at least 1 or 2 things that I've never done. You know, because when I experience something new, it shifts my way of thinking. It expands my way of thinking. And then by me expanding my way of thinking, then I'm able to problem solve better. I'm able to understand different people's perspectives. Me as an agent, I have to deal with many different people from many different backgrounds, right?
That's
So
right.
me being able to broaden my perspective, I can understand where all my clients are coming from, or I'm able to relate to them, right? And then when you do that, it not only makes you feel more confident in the world, because now you move around with a greater awareness of yourself and what you're capable of, but then it also opens opportunity for you. Because when you learn something new, that's another avenue that you can explore.
Again, with a lot of our people, how you want to say it, because I don't want to say it incorrectly, but I'm going to say it correctly. We depend on a leader. We don't know how. If I want to go to the store, I got to call my girlfriend and say, do you think it's all right I go to the store next door? And it's up to her to say, okay, well, that store is good next door. You should go there. If she don't say that store is not good, then you won't go there. How can our people get out of that mentality of have to have the friends to tell them what to do before they can make their own decision? Where did that come from? Did that come from slavery, or did that come from kingship of the past?
I will say that to me, to me, once again, and this is how I look at life. It doesn't matter necessarily where it started. It matters how I'm behaving now. Right?
Okay.
Because I have the power to change my actions in this moment. I
At
can't
this
change the
moment,
past.
can't change the past. So you can't use that same route for now and make an excuse with it.
Exactly.
Because you know better already.
Exactly.
Okay, go ahead.
So what I would say is this: if you're looking for, once again, you're looking for that person to validate you because you haven't validated yourself. I'm saying that I don't trust my ability to make decision making, or I need your assistance to validate my decision in order to do something for me. That's where it stems from. You're not 100% confident in yourself. Because if you like, when a woman goes shopping, she likes it, she buys it, right?
Yeah.
Because she sees value in it.
Okay, but a friend, again, they come along, oh, why you buying that? You shouldn't buy that. My friend had it, wasn't no good for my friend. What makes you think it's good for you? What do? Get rid of that friend?
No, it's, once again, we have to understand that everyone has their own perspective based on their life experiences. And that's why you don't necessarily need to have someone to validate you, but you want friends that have a varying perspective so that they can broaden what you're already experiencing.
Now you hear that, folks. You look for people who are going to validate you and move you forward, not someone who's going to keep you from going forward. You meet a boyfriend and you like that boyfriend, you get to know that boyfriend yourself. Don't ask your girlfriend what you think about it. Because she may not have a boyfriend and tell you it ain't no good for you. So learn to validate yourself. That's what you teach. With that said, we're going to take you to some music. And you're listening to King and Queen Radio, BrooklynStation.com, SisterDevon.com, WVIP 93.5 FM.
Yo. King and Queen Radio. About the biggest thing in the globe out of space.
If you're looking for a solution to all your problems in life, there is one person and one person only you should come to, Sister Dubon. Address is 1752 Flatbush Avenue. Phone number is 718-253-7273. Make it your duty to see Sister Dubon if you're going through any problems in life. I can tell you from my experience, she is the best. She is the one and only that you should come to. Don't go to anyone else, because she had the solution to all of your problems, Sister Dubon.
Attention, Sister Dubon, a gifted spiritual and healer, offers psychic readings daily, remove evil spirits, bad luck, and can help you with money problems, and specializes in love and health problems. If you want to be happy again in life, call now, 718-253-7273. That's 718-253-7273.
Yay, this is Sister Dubon's time. Come on, enjoy the music. You've been crying, your face is red. Come in, baby, you can dry the tears on my dress. She's hurt you again, I can tell. Oh, I know that love so well. Don't be shy, you've been here before. Pull your shoes up, lie down. I will lock the door, and no one has to know. You come here again, baby, it will be like it's always been before. Breakfast in bed, a kiss or three. You don't have to say you love me. Breakfast in bed, nothing need be said. What's your
Limited to a song you play, limited to a song you play. You play on a song, or limited to a song you play.
It's been so long.
Hey, you listen to King and Queen Radio, BrooklynStation.com, SisterTheBomb.com. It's been a great evening here with us this evening, and I hope you folks enjoy it. Don't forget to share, like the webpage. You can go back and look at this program on King and Queen Radio / Brooklyn Station on YouTube. King and Queen Radio / Brooklyn Station YouTube. You can find us on radio.co, or you can find us on Facebook, Zena Paley. And if you like to write in, King and Queen Radio @gmail.com. Again, folks, it's a great, and I got my co-host Ismael on the side here, and so many people calling in. And let me see. Again, you're listening to King and Queen Radio. I'm Sister Devon. Give me a call daily for spiritual. That's 718-253-7273. Don't give up. All right, let me take this caller here. Good evening, caller.
Good evening. Oh, yeah.
All right, well, who we got this evening?
You got the Brooklyn Cat from Sheephead Bay.
Brooklyn Cat from Sheephead Bay. Well, what's going on in the Sheephead Bay?
Everything is so quiet now, you know. Upstairs ain't banging, downstairs they ain't banging.
Everything is silent night, golden night. So
I'm scared to go outside, shoot.
why you scared to go outside?
Because people don't be out there that much. And it was real cold one night. I went outside. I just walked, right in the area. I noticed every time I get ready to come back, and be a lot of guys standing like on X. They just standing out there or something.
Well,
I said, okay, well, I'll just stay home.
maybe they're looking for the strippers. Strippers making top dollar now.
Oh.
You know about the strippers making $10,000 and up now, don't you?
No, I forgot prostitution is legal now. Yeah, no, I didn't know that.
Prostitution.
Yeah, prostitution is legal now, so they can really make their money.
They can make money now, can't they? Massage parlor, everything is up for the price, $10,000 and up. Boy.
Wow. They raised that price. Ooh.
You get rich, you go in business for one month, you good. You can buy a house. Lord have mercy. $10,000. Wow. So tell us what the news going on, Kat.
Oh, I forgot to tell her. Well, one night I've been called in because KK had me sick with a rat. And that stuff like drained me to, and it took me a week and 3 days to stop hurting. So everything is bagged up. And that old judge, she had me sick with a little baby gorilla. Who do you tell you? Oh, thank you for taking me out of my body. So he tired of people putting roof fix stuff on him, and more roof fix stuff and more. He said, oh, boy, thank you for letting me out of my body. And Diana Aura, she put a shot somebody because they said cat.
She shot somebody.
And they said she'll shoot me too. And I woke up with that on my mind, looked to the left of me, Spirit wrote me crazy. Because she know what crazy, that's what it is. She had the big ball, they were giving something at Honor for the 4th of July in a club, and she sang one sentence of a song over and over and over. Because she know what crazy. Because when that builder came there, she running down the railroad track, fast to the train. It was just up. She ran away, but she knew she had shot that boy, so Ain't that something?
Sure is. She headed to
And
Mexico.
my girl was whining. That water wasn't gonna get her, but she gone down the railroad track.
On her way to Mexico. Oh, well, I guess she'll be going to, what do you call it, Guadalupe? Guadalupe, wherever, in Mexico. Well, that's good to hear. What else good?
Oh, it's a Stone Gold River. I had to meditate and meditate. I said, what is that, a horse head? Then next day, I said, what is that, a snake belly? And then God just, today, this morning, he just showed me a gold river. I thought, oh, that's what I see up there. Like from her throat down, like one day in her bosom, her chest. It's a gold river. So then it said, oh, yeah, because I know she had, I always knew that she is half animal and half human. And she think I would go with her. And this girl over here on Avenue X, that woman is a bulldozer that jump the fence. And she come put group big stuff on me because she want me. And Oka herself got her, telling her, do she see me with a man? I've been in the house for 5 days. I ain't stepped foot out the house. I've been here for 5 days. Talking about staying about 8 days. I ain't thinking about no man. See, Tiger gonna treat me like I wanna be treated. And I go out here and get somebody and mess. He stop messing around on me. Why should I mess around on him? That is common sense. A smart, intelligent person just ain't that common sense. And since you know me so well, don't you know, can't you see that I don't want you and I don't care about you being in love with me? That is lush love. Nothing but lushing up. You keep lushing up there. You stop that lady from giving me a birthday present. She was going to give me some money and you done stopped it. Don't make no sense. Threaten to kill people if they give you some money on birthday present. Don't bring me no apple over there, D, because I will kill you for an apple.
People out there, they need to leave you alone, Cat. You know, you got a life to live. They need to let you be free.
Yeah, free me, deliver me, leave me the hell alone, because you know I would never go with you, but I don't even want to see you. Don't come nowhere near me, because I ain't got nothing to do with you. And you see what I mean, Granny? Leave me alone. Because me and my family, we're going to church on Sunday, and I'm not going to come to church and have people that's voodoo workers and the devil sitting up in my house, and everybody that was over there in that house with you don't ever never come in my face, and y'all ain't invited to nothing that I'm having. I'm going to have a reader on the door to see if somebody's trying to get up in something that I'm having that run up in that house before I go in. It don't make no sense.
Well, Cat, everybody want to go and let you go. Somebody asked how you make cornbread.
Oh, you got to get some self-rising cornmeal. Well, it's all kind of ways you can make it. You make that jiffy cornmeal. You just put your egg in there and a little milk and a little water. You gotta mix it just right, not too soupy. Always put 3 tablespoons of self-rising cornmeal in it too. But from scratch, you gotta use baking powder, just regular cornmeal, and you gotta put like a little oil in it and some of that buttermilk. I like buttermilk cornbread.
Right. You're going to have some good cornbread.
And eggs. Put 2 eggs in it.
And you stir it up and you put it in the oven.
And yeah, baby, it will bake too. You gotta put bacon. What I said? Yeah, baking powder in. What did I say? Soda? No, baking powder. Girl, I ain't cooked it so long.
Well, Cat, thank you for your cornbread. You give us a lucky number because the folks need one.
I'm looking at 8 and a 9 and a 1. Play 0 with it.
891 and a O on behind it, and 6537, and you get some hands liking here. Good, and shout out going out there to you. And anything you want to sing somebody a song?
No, I'm gonna shout out the children out in Kelly. They had called in wish their happy birthday. That was so beautiful. Oh God, it just made my day. I had a nice time. I went to seafood. So I went to they took us to a seafood restaurant.
Oh, you went to a seafood place, and what you eat?
I got to have me some good old shrimp and my tartar sauce and some coleslaw. And they said corn, they did some corn to go with it too. I tore that stuff up.
You enjoy your birthday. Well, shout out to you and yours and everybody, and we'll talk to you next week.
Okay, love you, Tiger.
And what was the name of that song? The DJ search for your song. How you sing it?
Oh God. I don't want to give it away. I keep telling you I don't want to give it, because if I can find it, then I'll play it for Tiger's birthday. His birthday is next month. I'll play it for Tiger's birthday because it came out, I think, in 79.
All right, then. Take care.
Okay, then. Talk to y'all later.
Okay, everybody, you heard Kat? We're live on WVIP 93.5 FM. Okay, folks, you're listening to King and Queen Radio, BrooklynStation.com, SisterDevon.com, and don't forget, every week you can listen right here, the King and Queen Radio program. That's from 8 to 12. Tell a friend and a friend. And don't forget to listen to KingandQueenRadio.com 24/7, BrooklynStation.com 24/7. And I guess on 12 to 1, we have Tony Dance on the 1 and 2 because the DJ don't show up. I've been making a story out of everybody waiting for her to come on the show. I have to try to control her because sometimes she's bad. So, everybody listening to her because you don't know what's going to come. Don't know what's going to come. That's what people know. They don't know where it comes from. Just want to know if you want to be in the back and stuff like that. They all have to be. So now you got an idea how to do it. I'm looking for that competition thing. Bring all this other stuff up to them. And you work with it like that. You get stuff out. It's not all that competition. Bring on get chill out. Yes. Yes, she wrote one person, an hour ago. They search for newspapers, search for elevator
Tired moon is descending. Good night, my moon with you now is ending.
I enjoy it.
It
Come on, when you
was
sit over here, you sit
so
over take
close to me. It will be heaven to hold you again in a dream.